I'm the Africa organizer of World Beyond War, and part of the campaigners in Africa who are campaigning with the Stop Killer Robots to try to bring our states in the region to be part of this important work that the campaign has been conducting to lead toward an international treaty to ban the autonomous weapons. So we are celebrating or commemorating the International Day of Peace, and we have chosen to focus on this threat, that is the autonomous weapon systems that is being used in warfare, including the development of the technology with artificial intelligence that is making it more, the issue more complicated still. We have been working with chapters in Africa and other organizations. So this event is mainly led by our Gambia chapter, whose coordinator here is Omar Mbub, to whom I'm going to now give the floor so that he can lead us this event. So Omar, you have the floor.
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My co-host, Mr. Almaid and Mr. Gabrin and Mr. Guy and everyone here. So my name is Omar Mbuk. I'm from the Gambia. I'm currently doing my bachelor's at the University of the Gambia, my second year semester. So I'm glad to be here. So suppose my co-host, she's the one that normally should be the moderator, but due to some circumstances, she could not able to make it. She is also currently on a mission that also, on peace campaign in other region here in Gambia. So today I will be your co-host together with Guy, who is the African organizer for World Beyond War, who is doing amazing job um, leading us with the African chapter. So on that note, so I welcome everyone here. So feel home, feel free, and I hope that this session will be amazing because we have um, speakers here, so who are doing amazing in their domain, in their countries, and in the globe as well. So on that note, I thank everyone, Paul, Joe, and everyone who is here today, to witness the International Peace Day. So on that note, so we will go with the discussion. So from there, I will ask Guy also, to play our recent event that we did here in May about the Stop Killer Robot campaign, whereby we bring our government official, we bring our national parliament, those who are in the parliament in the decision making. We also invite youths from different organizations. We also invite youth activities as well. We also invite civil society as well, whereby we gather together to discuss about the killing robot, the killing autonomous robots that we all know that currently what is happening in Gaza, what is happening in Ukraine, and what is also happening also in other countries. So that's why we World Beyond War Gambia chapter. So we join together with our chapters and also our partners, the Stop Killer Robot, and also Cameroon as well to join hands together, and we see how best also we can tackle this global challenge. We all know that once we sit and we allow the robot to dictate us how to live and when to die. So that's know that we are no more safe in this world. So that's why we come together and we see how best also we can discuss and have see what solution we can find together. On that note, we also have a program guide that we are going to follow. We have some speakers who will be doing their PowerPoint to give us more about what is autonomous weapon, so the side effect, and also on their level of advocacy in their countries and also in the global level as well. So on that note, I will give the floor to Mike to guide. He can also play the recent event that we do here in Gambia, so that our audience can know so far what we did. Thank you so much, Mike. Guy.
Robots on Saturday at the American Corner in Fajara, marking a significant step in the global campaign against the militarization of artificial intelligence. More in this report by Lamin Ba.
With autonomous weapon systems, often referred to as killer robots, posing profound ethical, humanitarian, and geopolitical risks, the forum sought to educate, engage, and mobilize young Gambians in peace building and AI governance through keynote speeches, panel discussions, on global security and human rights. The event drew around 50 participants, including youth leaders, civil society advocates, students, media representatives, and peace activists. This engagement underscored the growing momentum among Gambian youth to demand the preemptive ban on autonomous weapons and push for ethical AI development. Speaking at the event, Omar Mbub, president of World Beyond War, Gambia chapter, emphasized the critical role of AI governance in global peace efforts.
The Killer Award is currently in a 200 country in the globe right now. So their main vision is to promote peace and to fight justice and to deal with the human rights equality and to respect law, not automatic kill. The Killer Award is a global initiative that established the new international law that rejects the automation of killing and ensure a meaningful human control over the use.
One reason to say no to this dangerous is this technology being available to unauthorized people or the serious nature of its uncontrollability. Maria Masane, a keynote speaker who addressed the role of youth in disarmament.
These little autonomous weapons, they are weapons that are created by human beings. When created, that is where their connections with human beings stops. They go on and target their victims and kill them without no human interventions. They don't take advices from people. So they have been made. So that's why they are called killer robot. They are specifically made to kill and nothing more than that. So example, those robots, because they can be robots, they can be drones or whatsoever. Some of them are even like walking things. They made them purposely for killing. They are roaming around the sky. So
in a side interview, Kemo Bojang echoed concerns over AI-powered warfare, noting how modern conflicts is increasingly driven by technology, where nations compete to undermine each other through automated warfare.
Cannons and guns. It got to a time when, during the Second World War, atomic bombs were also used. Like, for example, what happened in Fukushima and also Nagasaki in Japan. So today's warfare is based on technology. It's about who can sabotage your technology as a country, for example, weaponize robotics. But what is important to note is that robots are not, free-willed. They are determined and they are controlled by human beings. So it is about encouraging and also educating young people, or generally the population, on how do we make sure that we use AI ethically, which I believe is the best way to go about it. And it's not just about waiting until it gets to us. It's about preparing for it.
By amplifying this critical conversation, the forum serves as a powerful call to action, urging policymakers, technologists, and global stakeholders to prioritize peace and humanity over unchecked technological warfare. Media coverage is expected to further elevate public awareness, inspiring constructive dialogue and ethical responsibility. Lamin Ba.
As tomatoes.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Guy. Okay, those are just a brief about our recent engagement here in Gambia in May. Oh, so that's why we say that we will not stop that. So we will continue our advocacy so that we can able to try to connect with others who are doing, so that we say that we will not stop what we are doing. So we will continue to stick with stakeholders, try to reach out to stakeholders like what we do today, to connect with Mr. Almight. We all know that he's also a retired military who also have a vast experience about peace and also this militarization. So together also with Gabrin, he's also currently doing some research on in this AI stuff. So I think today we will have a good conversation, so that we can able to learn what they are doing in their level. So from there also we will follow the program guideline. So we have our panel discussion whereby they will share a brief PowerPoint. They will explain so far in their level what they are doing in their country and also what they are doing in their chapters also as well. So we have next on the program guide who we have Guy. Guy also, he's also part of the Stop Claroban campaign currently here, who is residing in Cameroon. So through Guy, we able to connect, we able to partner with Stop Claroban campaign. The Cameroon, they also play a clear role for us to able to do our event here, which was very successful. So and even our parliamentary mentioned that the event that we do here in Gambia is currently among um, his best event that he attended so far here in Gambia. So we cannot do it alone without thanking the Cameroon chapter. Yes. So from now we will have a guide. So Guy will delve more on about the Cameroon chapter. So what they are doing so far on their level, together with Kilowatt campaign. Stop Kilowatt campaign. So Guy, the floor is yours. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Omar. I'll take just a few minutes to say a few things about First World Beyond War. It's a global movement to abolish the institution of war. This is the mission of World Beyond War globally. So we oppose all forms of weapons. So we operate in a decentralized organizing model where volunteers around the world organize events, campaigns in their communities, all with an eye towards the larger mission of war abolition. So as of this date, September 2025, so people in 203 countries worldwide have signed World Beyond War Declaration of Peace. So we have 51 chapters as well as 121 affiliate organizations. So we have about 1,038 pledge signers who are aligned to our vision of ending wars and ending conflicts peacefully. So our theory of change involves education, non-violent action, and media work. And our education work debunks the myth of war and lays out the proven non-violent alternatives to war. So it includes books, study guides, online courses, webinars, fact sheets, and more. So our non-violent action takes many forms around the globe depending on the local context of each chapter. So it could involve divesting a city from weapons, shooting down a military base, rallies, vigils, weapons blockage, and even more. So World Beyond War, as I said, oppose all kinds of weapons, including the autonomous weapon systems. So autonomous weapon systems are systems that can detect and apply force based on the processing of data from sensor inputs. In these systems, upon activation, there is a period of time where the weapon system can apply force to a target without additional human approval. So the specific object to be attacked and the exact time and even the place of the attack are determined by sensor processing instead of human operator. So this means that the operator does not determine specifically where, when, or against what force is applied. So autonomous weapon systems change the relationship between people and technology. Yes, by handing over life and death decision making to machines. So this disempower, disconnect, and dislocate humans in the use of force and raise fundamental ethical and legal concerns. So that's why the campaign is working for an international legal instrument that is actually needed to respond to the ethical and legal risk posed by autonomy in weapons. So the Killer Robots, Stop Killer Robot campaign is advocating states to adopt this legal binding instrument to ban the killer robots, or at least to impose a meaningful human control in the use of force. So World Beyond War even goes beyond this ideal, as our view is that killer robots should be banned with or without humans involved. We should simply ban these deadly weapons because they are made to kill. Even if a human were to be controlling, it will still made to be killed. So that's why we advocate for a complete ban on the autonomous weapon system. So in Africa, chapters have been calling on states to take leadership toward launching negotiation on a new international treaty on autonomous weapon systems. So our chapters which are most active in this issue are the chapters of Cameroon, Gambia, Togo. You also have Senegal and Nigeria, who has also conducting activities on that. As you asked me to say a few things about what the Cameroon chapter is doing. So the Cameroon chapter has been involved in this campaign for the last 3 years already. And we are in a very, very difficult political context in Cameroon, because the last past years have been mostly focused about the change in governance system. We have election this year, and since we started doing this campaign, political actors, civil society leaders are mostly focused on political transition, and they do not consider it so important to invest time in advocating against the autonomous weapon systems. This has been the main challenge, but it hasn't stopped us of building the capacity of civil society actors to understand what are these threats to humanity. We are also having regular conversation with the media, who have helped us in raising this awareness among the opinion. We also have specific targeted leaders, politically from opposition parties, who, as they are willing to take the power, they feel concerned with all topics, including those brought in by activists, peace activists. So they feel like concerned. They have included this kind of topic in their political agenda, and their promises being that the minute that they are in the position to rule the country, they will make our country adhere to this list of countries who are calling on the ban on autonomous weapon system. So we also had to meet with parliamentarians, though none have accepted yet to sign our parliamentarian pledge that we brought to them. Sometimes because of political reasons, because they want their hierarchy to approve first before they sign. This has been making it difficult. So at their level, they understand what we are asking them to do, and they think they can do when they have the authorization from their political leaders to sign the parliamentary plea. So on a daily basis, we from schools and university milieus, because the issue of artificial intelligence is widespread now, and we educate them on the ethical use of artificial intelligence, showing them the bad sides of artificial intelligence being used in war context, we war experience. So we have this conversation in particular as many of those young people are developing startups, working on robotics, and creating robots. We sometimes use artificial intelligence, but we encourage them to orientate their creations in the sectors like agriculture, because it's most needed in Cameroon. Sectors like agriculture, like health, any development sector, everything except military, because we stand against the military. And we have seen, unfortunately, that many of these young people are cooperating with the army, and they are producing drones for them that are being used in the war-torn regions. And at least we call on them to make sure that their creation, their invention, their robots are controlled by humans, and make sure that maybe they can serve maybe to only like surveillance, like inspecting, but never develop a robot that can kill a human being. So far, it's what we have been doing in Cameroon, and keeping this campaign so in other African chapters of World Beyond War. The Gambia chapter is most active chapter on that after the Cameroon chapter. And as I mentioned, we also have the chapters of Senegal, Togo, who are also very interested. We also have the chapter of Ghana, who also showed interest in being full part of this this campaign. So we'll have more to share about the campaign work we are doing in Africa in other circumstances. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Guy. That was a wonderful presentation, and we acknowledge your support and your since day one. Definitely, you are also someone that who is always available for any chapters. Like I can say, so anytime we need support, we reach out. So you are fully there. So we thank you so much, and we hope that the Cameroon chapter will continue together, doing the amazing job that they are doing. And I hope and I pray that your parliamentary they able to sign the petition about the stop killer robot. So I hope that soon, yeah, they will do that. And thank you so much, guy. And we acknowledge also the the presence of the participants, who are from from different countries here, to join us, and also, we acknowledge our speakers also. Yeah. So now we will go to the next speaker. Oh, that is me. So I'm the one. The next speaker is me. Okay. So for us, like. So, guy, can I go? Can I talk? Can I talk straight, or you wanna, or you want to put it in the screen? If you just check.
Okay, let me put it in the screen. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
So we need some. Can you see the screen?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Yes, it's here now. It's
Yes.
yeah. Okay, so for us, our Gambia chapter, this was what we do on May. So I will just give a brief um, about the Gambian youth, about the World Beyond War Gambia chapter. So what we are doing about the disarmament of lethal weapon system in Gambia. Guy, you can go next. Okay, so these are the outline about the introduction. Why should we care about our land and our youth involvement, so the role of youth in disarmament and danger of law, empowering young people, and conclusion. You can go next. Okay, so we all know that like what once we mentioned about the autonomous weapons, those are the weapons that yeah, it's very dangerous. Like we can say, they can dictate about who to die, who to live next. So that's we have example called robot. So this weapon can be independently select and engage target without without human intervention. So they use AI. They use artificial intelligence to make decision about who and when to attack, raise significant ethic, legal, and security concern. Like what I say currently, we all know that currently what is happening in Ukraine. So they've been using, this kind of weapon. So a lot of life been killed, a lot of property also, been destroyed. Next guy. Yes. So why should we care about law and youth involvement? So we all know that we need youth decision. We need a youth participation. So that's why it's an ethical concern about delegating life and their decision to machine challenge our moral principle and could lead unitary consequences and erosions of humans in control of over warfare. So we all know that currently what is going on in Palestine currently, because this lot of stuff been using. So it is also we all we also need our law to be governed. We also need also our policies makers for them to come to the table, and we have a law that will dictate about the AI stuff. And we also need a youth involvement so that youth advocacy level is very important. Like currently, what we are doing World Beyond War. So we try to mobilize youth from different places. We come together, and we advocate, and we see also how best also we can raise awareness and security risky. So we all know also this, like currently what is happening in Ukraine. So we it might also the war also can escalate in a different place whereby we don't expect that. So it is also another human threat, like human right threat, because lack of human oversight could be also violated. We all know that currently those weapons have been used because we all see that some countries they don't care about the international law. So lack of control also so lead it also lead also people also like different human right because others also, they don't have the right, because currently what is happening in Palestine, we all see that, what is going in Palestine. A lot of people, have been killed, a lot of life, have been destroyed, a lot of also property also, been displaced. People also, moving from one place to another because their right is being violated through this automatic weapon. So we continue also the youth future because we all know that, it's very important that, young people, um, to use those technology. They can also involvement in critical saving our policies and ensure that, the world is safer. Like we need youth decision. We all need also youth perspective. We need youth ideas and also, and strong moral. And also we need also dissemination movement, what the Stop Killer Robot is doing currently. So, and also what the Cameroon chapter also is doing, and the Gambia chapter and other global chapter also as well. So we need global issue whereby youths, will come all over the world. We unite, and we see how best, we can tackle and we can promote peace and security for everyone. Because once we leave this weapon dictating our life, there will be no security. There will be no peace across the world. So everything, will be destroyed because of the intervention of AI stuff. Okay, so our role is very important in this mission. So the future impact. So we need young people decision making today about these emissions will directly impact the future that young people will inherit it. Their involvement ensuring that every voice and concerns are heard. Like what we are doing World Beyond War Gambia chapter during our event in May. So we try to bring young people from different regions, from different civil organizations, whereby we have discussion like what we can do, and so that our role also can be heard as well in the national level and also in the global level as well. And fresh perspective, young people should bring new ideas, energy, and perspective on dissemination effort. Like what we are doing also, we see recently Stop Killer Robot campaign. They've been in Geneva. They raise awareness about the role of young people. What also we can do also in decision making, whereby we can talk to the decision making in the global level, so that our voice can be heard as well. Long term sustainability. We also need young people. Young people should be engaging in youth dissemination, and help to build a long term commitment, peace, and security. It's concerned that the young generations is equipped with knowledge and skills to address those contact issue. Like y- young people, can play a great role because we all know that the youth are the future tomorrow. So we need to bring young people, and raise awareness, and we address the issue so that the young generation who are coming up can able to raise awareness. Innovation solution. So we need young people who are often in the front line of technology innovation. They can use their skills to develop new tools and strategy for these missions. And mobilization is very important. Like young people who are very skilled, at the mobilization level, they can also use their social media and other platform to raise awareness and build support and pressure decision making. So we all know that like everyone can have access to WhatsApp, LinkedIn, other page. So we need to raise awareness more frequency so that and we also need to press the decision making so that like the Cameroon chapters. So they need to reach out to their parliamentary. They sit with them and they see how best they can present them. But for us on our level Gambia chapter, so we thank our parliamentary. So through our engagement with them, so they able to sign the parliamentary plate. behalf of the killer stop killer robot in our national level, and they assure us that also they will do their best to continue the advocacy on their level as well. You see, so these are the example of the weapon that now they are developing. So this kind of weapon is fast, yeah, and it can dictate who to live and who to die. These are example. Yes, empowering young people. So we need to encourage participation and support young people in participating in campaign, protests, and online activities related to dissemination, like what we are doing today. So, World Beyond War Gambia chapter, what we do today, we try to organize a webinar and we connect with different speakers across the world so that we can able to see how best we can do our campaign online, and also support youth lead initiative, provide resource, and provide young people with lead initiative and organization focus on dissemination, dissemination and responsibility the use of technology. Encourage engagement, encourage young people to engage with policymakers at local, national, and international level, and participate in decision-making process related to dissemination. Provide resources like offer link for further learning materials such as article, report, and education video about law and dissemination. Engagement opportunity direct people to organization and initiative where they can get involved and make a difference. In conclusion, like we are calling on people, like every action is count, no matter how small contribution to a safer future. Let's work together and build a world free from autonomous weapon. Let's build future where human control and ethical considerations always guide the use of technology. So we are calling on action. We call everyone to join our chapters or to join, other chapters, Cameroon and the other next chapters, and to join the Stop Killer Robot Youth campaign so that we can able to work together and we can promote a peace across the globe and we can say no to autonomous weapon. So on that note, I thank you so much. Yes, I thank everyone. And once again, we will go to the next to next speaker, so that because we are avoiding also time delay, so we can go to Gabriel. Gabriel also, will delve more about the militarization of artificial intelligence. So Gabriel also, he's doing amazing job. When you come to AI stuff, he is also a researcher. Gabriel also, he's doing great job. He's a researcher in the international relationship and a recent graduate from Federal University of Santa Catarina, Brazil. His work focused on AI governance, um, emerging technology, and international security. Gabriel has conducted research on Brazil national AI strategy and mobilization of AI and the role of civil society in global disarming effort. He is a member of the Stop Killer Robot Youth Network, a monitor at the Research Center on International Policy and Security and Defense, um, and a researcher at the AI plus Artificial Intelligence and Destructive Technology, University of Sao Paulo. So Gabriel, so I know Gabriel will tell more about AI global governance and AI discernment. So Gabriel, So the floor is yours. So you can do your presentation, and we are looking forward to hear from you because we will learn more on the work that you are also doing there in Brazil.
Thank you so much, Omar, and I want to congratulate you on your efforts. Thank you for your presentation. I would like to thank you again for this kind invitation to this event and the organization also. Thank you very much. Um, I will begin to share my screen. Let me know if you're able to see. Are you seeing the screen? Nice.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I can see.
Okay.
Yes.
So everything okay?
Yes, it's okay now.
Okay.
It's perfect, yeah.
Just a second. Okay. So hello everyone. I would like to say first that it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you today. Thank you again for this invitation. My name is Gabriel Coutinho. I recently graduated with a degree in international relations from Federal University of Santa Catarina here in the south of Brazil. And this is basically a presentation on my undergraduate thesis, Militarization of AI, Autonomous Weapon Systems, International Governance, and the Stop Killer Robots campaign. So let's get, and I'm also a member of the Stop Killer Robots Youth Network, but this research I did at the end of the last year for my undergraduate thesis when I was even not a member of the youth network. So this is my own independent research. Let's get right into it. So first we have to talk about the militarization of AI, and it's important to talk about AI in the military domain first, and considering just a second, okay. I have to talk about technological innovation that play a decisive role in the balance of power among states, especially regarding to their economic and military capabilities. And in the case of technologies with a high degree of technical complexity, such as AI, the countries that develop them first, of course, acquire a very important strategic advantage over its adversaries. And here we have some on the work of the seminal work by Professor Noel Sharkey that was published in 2012, where he argued that the international system was entering a final stage in the industrialization of war, quote, towards a factory of death and clean killing where high-tech countries fight wars without risk to their own forces. So basically, over the past decade, the prospects of removing humans from the control of weapons has been advancing in many states, especially United States, China, Russia, Israel, and the United Kingdom. And the main objective of those countries is to create an integrated network of military machines operating across all domains of warfare, so land, air, sea, cyberspace even, and outer space. And this was already covered, but I'm giving a refresh. So we can define autonomous weapon systems as weapons that can select and engage targets independently with autonomy in the critical functions of acquiring, tracking, selecting, and attacking targets. Autonomous weapons, they initiate an attack in response to environmental information received through sensors and based on a generalized target profile. This is a document that came out by the International Committee of the Red Cross already in 2014. And it's basically that they keep the same definition because it's actually pretty accurate. So in this report by Boulogne and Verbruggen that came out in 2017, they basically categorize autonomous weapon systems in five main types, being air defense systems, active protection systems, robotic sentry weapons, guided munitions, and loitering munitions. So on the autonomy of these systems, they are, besides AI, of course, they are supported by other underlying technologies, such as sensors that collect data from the environment, the hardware and software that process and interpret this data, and interfaces that enable their operation, called human-machine interfaces and other communication devices. And these elements vary across systems, including their degree of human control. There are a lot of types of approaches to defining the control in weapon systems. For example, there is the on the loops approach with human in the loop, on the loop, and out of the loop. So they vary a lot, but they all have a certain degree of autonomy. For example, the human on the loop is equivalent to a supervised autonomy approach, for example, where the human role is basically of oversight of the system, which is, of course, not good because it's basically just uh, pushing a button, let's say, let's put it like this, to approve or deny an attack. So here we have some operation schemes of the autonomous weapons. Here on the left, we have robotic sentry weapons, which are basically turrets that are mounted. They are usually used in border control. For example, they are in the border between North and South Korea. For example, they have sensors, cameras attached, and that goes along with the weapon system. Here on the right, we have loitering munitions. They are also known as suicide drones. They basically unmanned aircraft that surveils a designated area looking for a target profile, and they carry out an attack and self-destruct on impact. Here we have air defense systems. They are basically they can be stationary or attached to a vehicle. In this case, the Patriot from the United States is mounted into a truck, and they basically surveil airspace for missiles, drones, and aircraft, and have really autonomous capabilities in doing that. The Iron Dome from Israel is a pretty known example. Here we have active protection systems. They are usually mounted, attached to other types of vehicles, in this case, a tank. They are basically sensors, cameras, infrared sensors that goes along with the machine that put out countermeasures against infantry and other vehicles. This one is the Trophy Active Protection System from Israel. And here we have really a lot of autonomous weapon systems. You can check it out. Highly recommend checking out Automated Decision Research, which is a research branch of the Stop Killer Robots campaign. If you go to the site and click in any of these, they give further information on development, the country, their capabilities. So yeah, check that out. And here I compile the main issues regarding autonomous weapon systems. Namely, they're really unreliable and they have unpredictable outcomes. Of course, it's AI for, you know. They are vulnerable to cyber attacks, vulnerable to hardware and software failures. There are, of course, the accountability gaps that come with it because if, for example, there's a war crime committed, a violation of international law, who would be need to be held accountable? The engineer who designed it, the soldier who is operating, the commander, the politicians who approved, the state. So it's a really complex discussion. The dehumanization of the enemy and the distancing from the battlefield, because when you are on a computer far away from the battlefield, it's much easier to take a life of anyone. So that's really concerning. The legal review of weapons demanded by Article 36 of the AP1 Geneva Conventions, because they basically can alter the software, and it is really hard to get track of this developments. The escalation of an arms race, because of course it can be compared for the nuclear race, because if a country has autonomous weapon systems, has developed military AI, this incentivize their enemies, other states, to do the same for deterrence dynamics and such. The distinction between combatants and civilians is a really important topic because it's not just a matter of uniform. When you have urban conflicts, it's sometimes could be hard to distinguish between combatants and civilians, for example. And they undermine human dignity as a whole. So when considering these risks related to autonomous weapons, the perspective that they should remain under meaningful human control quickly gained traction in the international community. So just a quick one on meaningful human control. basically identifies general functions that should be assigned to humans in control of autonomous weapons, and is based on two premises. They first, that a human simply pressing a fire button in response to indications from a computer without cognitive clarity or awareness is not sufficient to be considered human control in a substantive sense. It can be related to the supervised autonomy that I talked about, where it's basically the human role is basically of oversight and to approve or deny an attack. And the other premise is that it's a broader one, but really important, that machine applying force and operating without any human control whatsoever is broadly considered unacceptable. So now we go to the international governance of autonomous weapons. And basically, the main multilateral forum addressing this issue is the Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons within the United Nations. The convention was established in 1980, and is constituted of 5 protocols that ban, prohibit, or restrict certain types of armaments considered harmful or indiscriminate, such as non-detectable fragments, mines, booby traps, incendiary weapons, blinding laser weapons, and explosive remnants of war. And since 2014, autonomous weapons has been designated as one of the key issues of the convention. So in the first stage, the autonomous weapons was addressed in informal meetings settings at the CCW in 2014, 15, and 16. Basically consisted of various civil society experts which then presentations and delegations of state parties that addressed the ethical, legal, technical, and security issues related to autonomous weapons. And basically, after these informal meetings, this discussion was formalized in the form of the group of governmental experts on lethal autonomous weapon systems, the GGE, from 2017 onwards. And it's really a lot to cover. I tried to do this in my undergraduate thesis, but it's really hard to keep track of everything that happened. And here I basically try to summarize in progress and challenges. So basically, the progress is the formal nature of these discussions in the United Nations. It's a really good advantage for regulation. The consolidation of meaningful human control as a key concept carrying forward. The broadening of international humanitarian law discussions. The fact that it became a priority topic in the CCW. The high civil society engagement in this matter. And the guiding principles that were established in this group. But the challenges, in my view, are much bigger because they are the resistance from military powers, and of course that the CCW operates on a consensus-based decision-making structure. So basically, every country has to approve of the outcome of the meeting or a report and such. So that's really hard, and that's the reason for the slow progress in the negotiations that is disproportionate to the technological developments. And of course, the absence of a legally binding instrument that we do not have until now. Here, real quick, is just the current state positions on autonomous weapon systems. Again, you can find this. It's a really informative website, Automated Decision Research. I put this here basically to show that the big majority of countries already formally, officially supports a legally binding instrument. In this case, 129 countries already has put out statements and officially declared its intention to negotiate a legally binding instrument, while a small minority of countries opposed to that, namely countries that would benefit from these further developments and no regulation of autonomous weapon systems and AI in the military as a whole. So again, really recommend to check the website out. It's really good. So moving to the final part of my presentation here, I want to quickly talk about the Stop Killer Robots campaign. So about the formation of the campaign, in 2012 already, there were already mobilization towards this issue, even before it became officially a UN topic of discussion, with specialists, diplomats, and NGOs. But the campaign was officially launched in 2013, April 2013, and its members advocated for a ban on the development and use of autonomous weapons to be implemented through international treaty, national legislation, and other regulatory measures. And in this initial stage, these were the NGOs that composed the steering committee of the campaign. More on the formative period, I think it's important to highlight that since the beginning of the campaign, it already had active engagement in the most important multilateral forums to discuss autonomous weapons, namely the Human Rights Council, Disarmament and International Security Committee of the General Assembly, and of course the Convention of Certain Conventional Weapons and the group of governmental experts on autonomous weapon system since its creation in 2017. Here we got some photos of campaigners at the UN representing Stop Killer Robots. And besides all this institutional advocacy with reports, policy briefs, and carrying forward really important concepts that came to be officialized in the negotiations, like meaningful human control, for example. Uh, I seek to highlight other fronts of the campaign that I find to be important also, besides the really important work in parliamentary and the United Nations, of course. For example, the campaign launched a short film documentary, Immoral Code. You can check it out on YouTube. It's basically posing questions with, for example, examines whether it's morally or socially acceptable to take life, talks about race, gender, bias in artificial intelligence. And the campaign is really, really good at producing this type of content. I think is one of the great strengths of the campaign. And other mobilization strategy that proved to be really effective is the grants program that was launched in 2018 and basically supported civil society groups in their national and regional campaigning efforts. The program has been renewed annually since then, and it's here I have put this on my research, but it it significantly helped to grow the number of NGOs in the countries that the campaign reached. So just want to highlight that. Here I got some photos of public actions by the campaign that I believe to be really effective in raising public awareness in this topic in various countries. They do this like every year. I think it's a really good strategy because sometimes it's hard to reach people outside of, for example, academia or civil society movements. So I believe to be a really important strategy that the campaigns carry forward. And here I want to highlight the broadening of framings that the campaign had, especially after 2020 with the COVID pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement, which represented a critical turning point. And the campaign sought to deepen its framings regarding, for example, intersectional oppressions. And that was when it started developing, for example, the digital dehumanization framing, which is really strong in the campaign for carrying out the agenda, intersectionality, and post-colonialism. A document that really reflects this came out in 2020 also. It's called the Campaigner's Kit, where the campaign tried to branch out more. Even it's not a complicated document, it's really accessible to members, activists, and also for the general public to get into this issue. So the document covers global security, human control, gender and bias, racism and intersectionality, parliamentary engagement, legal measures, advocacy and lobbying, media work, and policy briefs. So it's a really complete document. Here's just a slide to show the work of the Youth Network. It's a place for young people all over the world to bring together their expertises and collaborate on projects. I've been a member of the Youth Network since the beginning of the year, and it's, for example, is where I have met Omar. So we are already seeing like the power of this networking and bringing people together. Here we got some photos of activities of the youth network. They also have like art contests, calling young artists to express themselves on this issue. And recently we had the International Youth Day blog series for the International Youth Day by the UN, where the youth network members wrote articles on various matters such as digital colonialism, the current developments at the United Nations, GGE, gender perspective on autonomous weapons. I myself wrote an article about the use of AI decision support systems by Israeli military in Gaza. And that's about it. I will, after I end this presentation, I will share a link with you. I believe you can see here. I did the Google Drive document with the link for my undergraduate thesis and some material from the campaign and other sources also. You can find the PDF for my undergraduate thesis is in Portuguese, but it's good for you to check the sources and even translate if you want. I will share after. And basically, this is it for the presentation. I just want to highlight that as of 2025, the campaign brings together more than 270 organizations across over 70 countries. And I know in activism, numbers are not the only thing that matters, but the campaign really shows its numbers and the ability to bring people together all over the world around this critical issue. And I put here, like, since the launch of the campaign has distinguished itself by bringing a multidisciplinary approach into frames that have frequently shaped the international debates on this issue. So, again, I would like to thank the organization for this invitation to talk about this critical topic. Looking to collaborate more with you in the future. And thank you very much for your attention and your time. So just a moment, I will stop sharing. And here is I will paste in the chat the link for the document I have put together, where you can find my undergraduate thesis and other materials by the campaign. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Real. Omar.
Yes, guy, thank you so much. Sure, thank you so much. I was having internet connection problem, but I'm back. Yeah, and Gabriel, thank you so much, Gabriel, for the amazing work that you are doing together with Stop Collaborate Youth, and also, on your research as well. So definitely, we thank you so much, and we appreciate your presence a lot, and you deliver well as well. So, and I hope that those challenges you mentioned, solution will find soon possible. And now we are going to our final speaker. Yeah, our final speaker. Mr. Almighty. Almighty, has been involved in World Beyond War since 2015. He was the founder and the coordinator for World Beyond War chapter in Central Florida. When he moved to Illinois, he led the great team Illinois chapter and statewide chapter, and he is a frequent speaker on might of war and alternative to war. He is an active and several other peace group. So hey, Almighty, he is now retired. So I hope we will learn more from him. So in what he is doing, with the great job in Illinois there. And yeah, Mr. Almighty, the floor is yours, and we are happy to have you on board.
All right. Well, thank you, Omar and Gabrielle. That was incredible information. Thank you for what you were doing there, and please keep it up. And Omar and Guy, just thank you also for all the work you're doing there in Africa. I hope, screen share here. Let's see if this works.
Yeah, of course, you can try. You can try and see. Yeah, it's loading.
Okay. What is going on here now? I was there.
Yeah, it's here. Finally.
Okay, what I'm showing here is I had the privilege of going to Palestine and the West Bank in February as a member of a delegation from the community peacemaker teams. This is one of the checkpoints that is in the city of Hebron, and there was one time when we went through that checkpoint to get through, and to go through the checkpoint, you have to get approval from an Israeli soldier. One time we were coming back through the checkpoint, and a young Palestinian man was there, and he asked me where I was from, and I said I was from the United States, and he pleaded with us, with me and the other fellow who was with me there, pleaded with me that he said, go tell them our story, meaning when you get back to the United States, tell them our story. Let people know what Palestinians are going through. And again, this is in Hebron in the West Bank. We did not go to Gaza, but the suffering and the resilience of the people in Palestine is admirable and amazing. And we all need to support them. I also want to make the point here that once you see, just like Gabrielle was talking about some of these weapons, once you see these things, you can't then unsee them. Once you see them, it ought to move you to action. I'm bringing here a perspective as an old man, but I also have 10 grandchildren, so I do see hear from young people a lot because of my grandkids, and I'm here seeing the world through the eyes of an American, and we're a country with 4.5% of the world's population, but we spend far more than $1 trillion on war and preparation for war. My country alone spends as much as the rest of the world combined. So I hope you in Brazil, you in Cameroon, Senegal, and the Gambia, and elsewhere in Africa will be telling your stories, and the whole world needs to tell the story for peace. Now, why is that not sliding? Sorry, there we go. I was also in Finland this summer. My father's father was from Finland. My mother's parents were from Sweden. Um, in Finland, we were there to celebrate the Helsinki Accords, which were signed in 1975, and which helped. Some are crediting the Helsinki Accords as helping to bring about the end of the Cold War. But there in Helsinki, I was able to meet with many Finnish peacemakers and peacemakers from across other Nordic countries and in Europe. And there is, even though we're struggling with all these wars across the world, there is, I think, hope for the future. I mentioned 1975 too. For us in the United States, 1975 is a reminder of that the war that we were imposing on Vietnam and other peoples in Southeast Asia. That war came to an end. It was a humiliation for the United States. And I naively thought that our country, my country, would learn from that lesson and say, we're not going to do that stupid war stuff anymore. During that war on Vietnam, upwards of 3.5 million people died, including 58,000 Americans for a stupid war based on lies. But since then, when I thought we were going to be done with war, This is just a partial list of the wars and coups and proxy wars that the United States has been involved in since 1975. The United States has been involved in more than 100 military interventions since the end of the Cold War. Since our country gained independence or declared independence in 1776, the United States has been involved in over 500 international military interventions, and 60% of those have occurred since 1950. We are the country that exports 43% of the military weapons and military goods around the world. But there are some countries pushing back. We heard that just recently that the country of Colombia, it says they will no longer buy U.S. weapons. Canada, India, and Portugal have said they're pausing orders on some missiles and fighter jets and so on. So that the hope is that the world is going to press back against the United States and our shipment of weapons of war and death all over the world. I'm showing this slide. Currently, the NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which now consists of 32 countries, they're spending $1.5 trillion, but they're proposing, and President Trump and others are telling NATO countries they have to spend a lot more on war so that they'll go to 5% of their gross domestic product. That will take those countries combined to $19 trillion that they're going to spend on war. I want to talk about that a little bit because that money is a theft. I talked with people in Finland and from other Nordic countries and other European countries, and you ask them, where's that money going to come from? They say it's coming from education and pensions and healthcare, the things that take care of human beings. And it's a theft from those kinds of human needs to spend money on war and human destruction. There was a study study that recently said that it's called the USAID. It's the United States Program for Foreign Aid. That when we were providing foreign aid around the world, those foreign aid programs saved 91 million lives between the years of 2001 and 2021. Now, with the U.S. cutting all of that foreign aid, the Lancet, the medical journal in the UK, estimates that those cutting that funding could lead to the death of over 14 million people by the year 2030. A point I want to make here, the United States spent about $460 billion on foreign aid over the 20 years from 2001 to 2021. During that same period, we spent $8 trillion on war and militarism. And our wars killed 4.5 to 4.7 million people over that same time period. So the point I want to make here is that for less than 6% of what we spent on war and militarism, we saved 91 million people around the world, or the foreign aid helped to save that many people. But the 8 trillion killed more than 4.5 million people. A Palestinian gentleman, when we were in Palestine, asked us pointedly, what kind of country are you? I'm showing this political cartoon because it's still relevant now. You can see that it's war that gets all the funding. Healthcare and education and sciences and arts don't get any of the funding. This political cartoon was done more than 70 years ago. But let's look for some hope. Some of you may know about this work, the research that Erica Chenoweth and Maria Steffen did. This book was published in 2011. No one had ever done this research before, but what Dr. Chenoweth and Dr. Stephan did was to look at all of the campaigns that they could find of for civil resistance, civil disobedience, and so on from 1915 through 2011, and now they've updated it to 2015. And what they were trying to see was, does it work? Does nonviolent civil resistance work compared to violence? And I'm going to go through this very quickly here. Here's the summary of their research. Nonviolent campaigns sustained a 50% success rate. Violent campaigns were only 25% successful, meaning nonviolence is twice as successful as violent campaigns. And when you have these campaigns, a lot of times governments resist. Governments use repression and other kinds of things to oppose these things. When governments use repression to oppose the campaigns, those campaigns that used nonviolence to against the repressive opponents were 46%. They achieved 46% success versus if they used violent campaigns to oppose the repression, they were only 20% successful. Point here is that nonviolence is far more successful than violence is. I also want to highlight here quickly a research that was done, and this research, I hope, I would wish other countries would do this. These are economists who did a look at the U.S. employment effects of military and domestic spending. We hear all the time in the United States that military spending and spending on war is good for the economy and that how many jobs it creates. Well, yes, it does create jobs, but when you actually model it in the United States, for example, if the United States spent $1 billion on military, it would create, I'm going to try to, it would create 11,200 jobs. But if you spent that money on clean energy, it would create 16,800 jobs, 50% more. If you spent the money on healthcare, it would $1 billion on healthcare would create 17,000 jobs. If you spent the money on education, it would create almost 27,000 jobs, 138% more than are created when you spend that money on war and weapons and so-called defense. And I would hope an economist or in other countries would look at that research and see, I wonder if that's true. If it's true in the United States, is it true among African countries, or is it true in Brazil? I put this up also as a sign of hope. Remember, as Gandhi said, remember that all through history there have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they seem invincible. But in the end, they always fail. They always fail. And what I hope is that the world, as I said, I come from this United States perspective. I hope that the world will challenge the militarism of the United States. If you can't do that directly, if a country can't directly challenge the United States, challenge us to become a peacemaking country, maybe a bunch of the world could band together and say, let's ignore the United States. The question I want to have is there are 1.5 billion people in Africa. Could the countries of Africa together challenge the less than 1 billion people of the NATO countries and say, no, we want to stop war? And a couple of last points regarding youth, since we were talking about youth. I want to say when I talk to young people here in the United States, they seem frustrated and angry, and they want to end wars. They are frightened about climate change. They want to challenge the increased militarism that they see. They are horrified by what they see regarding in Gaza and the West Bank and the war in Ukraine. They are worried about the future of the United States. Will it survive as it is now? Should it survive? They want to avoid war, but they want to live in a country that they want to avoid war, but they know that they live in a country that very actively promotes war and the preparation for war. So young people do give me hope. And with that, I'll close and thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much, Almighty. Thank you so much for the presentation. So this really amazing, and also we learn a lot from your PowerPoint. And we hope that the people of Palestine will be free. Yeah, and other countries who are right now going with conflict. So we pray that yeah everything come to normal. So we are living in a crazy world now because we've been seeing a lot of autonomous weapon being used in Ukraine, in Syria, Iran, other country. So we hope that that's why World Beyond War, we are here together with our partners, together with our chapters all over the world. We try to join together, try to raise our voice so that yeah, our togetherness, together we can do together. And we really appreciate your chapter there in US together through your leadership, doing the amazing job. And we also thank the World Beyond War Cameroon chapter, who are always our partners and our brothers as well there under the leadership of Guy, who is also always he's available once we reach out to him, definitely. And we also thanks Gabriel. We appreciate your research. Keep up the great research, and together with Stop Killer Robot campaign, your work you are doing out there. And we thanks our participants from Gambian chapter and and all of our chapter around the world. So let's continue the advocacy. Yeah, let's continue with the peace work that we are doing on our national level. And also, I thank you, everyone. From now, I will stop here. I will give the floor to Guy. Maybe, he has something to say. Yes, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Almighty.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, Omar. I know we are on the time is to close is normally now. Since we took much time in the presentation, maybe we can allow 5 minutes if one of the participants have a comment or a question.
Yes, okay, Gao. We can have 5 minutes from the participant, anyone who wanna deliver recommendation or wanna ask question. Yeah, our speakers are here. I'm sure they will respond quickly. And also, any recommendation also that you think that we can do in any chapters together, to continue that the advocacy work we are doing here on peace. So together with the autonomous weapon, feel free, you are welcome.
Well, thank you so much for all the speakers. It's been very, very highlighting presentations. I've learned a lot. The first contact I had with this approach or these chapters all around the world was with a Stop Killer Robots through a Nigerian chapter with a young man called Adebayo Kehinde. We met at the All African Campus of Church Theology Institute some 10, 12 years ago. Then he shared with me this initiative. He came to the country to establish it. I'm not too sure if it's working, but I'm really interested in implementing it here. That's why I've applied to learn more about it. Count me in, and I'm glad to have a Portuguese speaker on the platform among the speakers. Everything you said, I'm challenged as a young man to do my best to sensitize our youth to really be eager to seek for peace and not allowing more this control of automatic weapons. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julio. I'm putting my email address in the chat so that we can keep in touch after this this event and try to connect how we work on that campaign together. Yeah. Any other comment or question from participants? Okay, so if we have no comments more, as I said at the beginning, this was done as part of the activities marking the International Day of Peace. So I will invite you to visit the World Beyond War web page event on this International Day of Peace to see other activities that are being planned. And if you have activities from your end, you can also share them with us. We can publicize them as well. So I've pasted the link to that page on the chat. And also another link I want to share. I've seen a comment from the chat from someone from Liberia who would like to engage in this campaign. And I'm also keen to see someone in Liberia connecting to World Beyond War. And this is another link that I'm sharing so that you can see where we have chapters and see what where are the chapters in Africa. And if you want to start a chapter of World Beyond War in your own area, you are free to write to us, and we can work on that as well. So thank you so much. Thank you to Alamiti, Gabriel, Omar for coming and for taking the time to present the rich knowledge that we shared today. So we will keep connected in our social media and our website with more information on our work and our activism, and we invite everyone to share share with us what you are doing. We can publicize everything, and yeah, we are on this peace move together. Thank you so much, and I wish you have a great time. We registered, we recorded the event, so we'll share it with the 115 people who registered. And if there are questions afterward, we'll also forward them to the speakers today. Thank you so much. Okay, goodbye.